I got lots to do.
We're
Yeah.
on
We're on?
and we're recording, but we're still trying to get onto YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Does Calvin need to do any safety thing?
That was done outside,
Oh, perfect.
so.
Would he just
I'm gonna see them.
like to come in?
Okay,
Calvin, come on in, the podium is yours. Calvin, before you start, I just, and I warned these people, I'm gonna have to say the same thing 10 times tonight. Normally, everybody would be in here at once. I just want to thank you for applying for the position and your interest in the betterment of our township. And as you will note, the competition is high, but I hope that you'll consider running in the next election in October of 2022, regardless of the decision this evening. So welcome, and the podium's yours.
thank you. Hello, Mayor and Council. I'd thank you for the opportunity to be able to come down here and speak to you tonight. I live up on 456 Swallow Drive. I bought that property in 1969. Jefferson Township was always close to my heart because my mother was born and raised here. And I worked with the municipality of Powassan for 30 years. I was on council here for 10. I was on various committees, and I ran for mayor and was defeated by a good friend, Pat Hoff. And I didn't really lose interest in council because outside when I started going to Florida, and when I got down to Florida, I got on the committee down there on the park committee. I was very active with that. And over the years here in Nipissing, I was on the museum committee, the library, or not the library committee, the rec committee. And we used to, years ago, we had a bingo. I was on the bingo committee. I was on several committees. I was on the fire committee for a while. I'm married. I have a wife and 3 children, 6 grandchildren. And my wife and I have been over the last 2 years, but we're kind of shut off now because of COVID. Over the last few years, we've been going up to the gathering place and working under 2 days a week, helping with the food and stuff there. And over the years, I was chairman of or co-chairman of the Sportsplex when it was built. I was chairman of the medical center when it was built. The fundraising committee. I've been on the Lions Club. I was president of the Lions Club back in 1980, so that's how old I am. And I've always been interested in what's going on in everything. I've been watching used to be the council meeting, now I've been watching the meetings on the Zoom. Except for last week I couldn't get the picture, I could just get the sound.
We heard that was a problem.
And other than that, like I said, I worked with the municipality for years, and I guess altogether I was involved in politics for 38 years. And since 2010, I haven't been involved, but I was thinking about running in the next election, and I seen the opportunity for a vacancy here, so I decided I would apply.
Good. Thank you, Calvin. If you don't mind, we're gonna kind of go around the room and everybody, first round will get 1 question, and then if there's need for more, they'll go a second round and that'll be it. So first question comes from Councillor Marchant.
Good evening, welcome. Thank you for coming. Since you've been a councillor and know the area, you'll probably answer my question, but the Commanda Community Center, is it within the township boundaries, and would you support any funding from council for it?
I used to sit on that committee. And I supported it back then. Back, from 2000 on, I was pretty well on the committee back then. And, yes, I would consider supporting it.
James?
What do you think the township needs to improve on?
I'm not a critic, so, there's nothing much. The township seems to be fairly good. Everything seems to be running fairly smoothly, as far as I know. And, the only thing that I would think that we should improve on is the yards. Some of the yards, especially down the LSS, are not just what you picture and see. And I understand we don't have a bylaw for yards. Some townships have it. And I know Boston had one. If you had more than 5 cars, you had to have a wrecking yard license. You had to have a fence up and all this and that.
Good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, of course, they rained on my thunder, so now I've got to find a question for you. Volunteerism is really important, as you know, Kalvin. You've been in the area for a long time. How would you engage new volunteers? How would you engage? How would you bring in new volunteers?
Well, what I did last when I was on council, like when we used to have the museum days and the yard sales and stuff, I used to bring in some of my friends and have, like a lot of my friends own property in Nipissing,
Right.
but they don't live here, right? So I used to bring them in and not only, get your friends involved and get other people involved.
Right. Yeah, we're still doing that.
Pardon?
We still do that.
Yeah. I think that's the only way I know, and then other municipalities, they have a problem, people volunteering nowadays.
Mhm.
It's not like, when I look back the last 3 or 4 days over my history, like 30 years old, president of the Lions Club, you don't hear that, people don't volunteer that way.
Mhm.
I was president of minor hockey for 35 years.
Right.
My license plate says P-Hawk 1, Boston Hawk, #1.
Right.
And, I have a lot of pride around through both Nipissing and Pulaski and Turk Creek and the town and surrounding areas. But people don't do like we used to back in the day, have a fun day and all the municipalities got together. I can remember having a fun day in Calendar one time, and we had a pretty heavy team, but still Calendar in a tug of war. And I pulled so hard I broke the laces of my snow boots. But municipalities don't seem to get together the way they used to.
Okay, thank you.
My question, and this is just something I run into, how do you react when you're confronted by an angry or irate constituent?
Well, I never had much problem because I guess maybe they figured maybe I react, but I used to have a few people phone me at night and, I'd say, well, not much food today, but back in the day when I was around, we didn't have a whole lot of people. I can probably name 10 and everything that we had to deal with. And we always seemed to be able to, never shook hands after we were done talking, but we were able to talk it out.
Great, good, thank you. Second questions for anyone?
Yes,
Tom?
suggest one. I was wondering what you thought of development in the townships as far as like low rental housing or small business. How do you for it, or should we?
I'm for it.
Yeah, and how should we go about it? Any ideas?
Well, I guess we have to apply to my good friend Vic and see what he can do for you. I know you'd have to go to housing to get money for development land. And that's another thought I had the other day. Over the last few years, haven't had much to do, so I've been volunteering a bit for the United Church. Now I understand the United Church is for sale. Great place to put a senior citizen house. As far as I'm concerned, big piece of property. Big downtown Nipissing, you know, it's not much downtown, but it's right there. Close to the school. Or more rental, or, no.
Mhm. James, do you have any other questions?
No, he's answered everything I need.
Councilor Moore?
Just one more quick one. Is there anything that would prevent you from coming to every council meeting throughout the year? And are you willing to sit and take your fair share of boards and committees?
Yes. There's nothing to stop me. I had a place in Florida and I sold it. And, I had a little bit of a heart problem a few years ago and I got a pacemaker and I can't live it. I went back to the state, can't get insurance, so yes, I'd be here.
Great, thank you.
Okay, well, I think, Kalvin, then, we thank you for coming out tonight, and unless somebody else has any other questions? Okay, so we're on our almost on time. So thank you ever so much, and
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
We won't see you, we'll see you at the next
Okay.
election.
count on.
Okay.
We are having technical difficulties. We cannot get onto YouTube.
Okay,
So what we would, now would be the perfect time. Do you want to try the reboot? Because I did update the settings. So to everybody who's on Zoom right now, we are going to reboot our Zoom. So you may have to click on the link to come back in because we have to try and get it onto YouTube. Is that okay? Okay.
you got it on. Okay,